Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Tonight, we write a finish to Week 12 with a good Monday night matchup between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
Play action, it's Taylor. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
On third down, Taylor. And able to find Conley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 55 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
On second down, here's Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Slow. Ready. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Mike Daniels in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Let's go, come on. Hey, slow down.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Flag for 2.
On 2nd down, Taylor. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now Taylor to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Williams. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
319.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught left side, Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
He'll get it up the middle, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use The back end of the end zone, the sidelines, is extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Line left. Hey, look, we can do that. We can do that.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. And, man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Slow.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action him or stick something to him between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Out comes Davante Adams in the offense for their next drive. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
Let's go, come on.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This is caught by Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Could be four-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Third and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy, and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
They go play action here on first down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Dancing to his left. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And New York set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. On second down, here's Barkley. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Taylor on third down. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Here's a give to Barkley. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Play action, now Taylor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. It's caught by Clive Walford. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now it's Taylor. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Taylor will throw again. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for third and goal. Again, it's Taylor. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth. How about the defensive stand here from first and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Rodgers now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Rodgers now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Rodgers again here on second and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Motion man, watch 12, watch 12.
Rodgers again now. And Adams has it complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
319! 319!
On second down, here's Rodgers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Go, hey, let's go, come on.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
319!
On play action, now Rodgers being chased out left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The Packers on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Get reset. Hey, easy. 319.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Crosby puts it through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, here's Taylor. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's 3rd and short.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
319.
Taylor now to throw on third down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The
Still
ball's
first
got to
down.
come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Again, it's Abdullah. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production means they don't want to be in. 3rd and long, and that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He'll field this at the 5. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
319! 319!
Rodgers going to throw. For the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it?
Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Rodgers operating from the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
319!
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
319!
Rodgers now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Person. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Man open, and St. Brown has got it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker.
Reset. Hey, easy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Rodgers. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the third time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
The Packers on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Rodgers. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Rodgers now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Max Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now Abdullah, the return. Nifty move. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
And his throw is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Slow. Ready.
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a 1st.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now Taylor. Wright's got it. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down. A first down carry for Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's Taylor. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against the secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers throwing here. And this is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before.
Still first down.
Too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. As they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The Packers on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Blue 58. Zoom. Wide left. Check. Hey, check 24.
Rodgers to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little skeptical
about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way,